Those who know me or those who don't know me, I don't eat fruits. I really hate fruits for whatever reason. But I love veg. Yeah.
But I didn't know that you like your pineapple.
But I love, I really eat pineapple on pizza. Like, really, I love pineapple on pizza. Like, that's the only pineapple I eat.
Hi, my name is Kai Chan, a financial consultant, creator, and your host of The Creative Heart Show. This is a podcast where I sit with amazing people and explore what it means to live a fulfilling life. In today's episode, I chat with Leslie Koh, a financial services professional for 9 years and counting in a highly reputable UK insurance company. We talked about achieving success at a young age and, more importantly, his lessons on managing personal success. He's also my best friend. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Creative Heart Show, the very first episode.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly speaking, I still do not know what I'm actually doing here, but yeah, I'm very, very excited to have Leslie, my bro, colleague.
Yeah, actually, I just had to, of all times, right, I need to scratch
He's
my
crying.
Of all time, I need to scratch my eyes. Okay, never mind.
I've known him for...
we've known each other for about...
8 to 9 years.
8, 9 years. The moment you joined, I was the first person who when joined Fieldwork with you.
Yes. Before we get a bit deeper into that, I just want to say a little bit like why I'm so excited to actually have him as the very first guest of the Creative Heart. So my very vision of the Creative Heart Show is really just about, celebrating the creative spirit, like, the genuine creative spirit of an individual. Because I feel that a lot of us, as we're actually working or pursuing anything in life, anything that is actually worth pursuing, it's going to be very hard. And to be able to stick it out and continue to figure it out against any other possible judgment from other people is something that is very difficult to do. And I think both of us actually go through it, albeit it's actually in our very different ways. But ultimately, it's actually we just want to be happy, and that is what I hope that this platform will be. It's a platform whereby we celebrate the genuine. The genuine creative spirit, as well as the people who dare to stick it out to just want to pursue their happiness. Especially for people who have yet to get to know you. If you could actually give us a quick rundown of your origin story, like how you embarked on your career journey as a in the financial services industry, now a financial services manager yourself.
Yeah, so I would say that it started because I think the story goes back way back when I think was in secondary school. So I think I would say that I would like to think that I'm smart. So I didn't study very hard for PSLE, and I got quite good results. So at a point of time, my results were good enough to go to actually got a few decent schools, but I would not be like the top class. So in my mind I was thinking I should go for the top class. So I chose a neighborhood school that my points will actually bring me to the top express class actually.
Okay.
So
which school?
It was Bartley Secondary School. Right. So yeah, it wasn't the best school, I'll be honest. A lot of issues there, a lot of delinquents, everything. But that being said, just went there and just see how it goes lah. I mean, I didn't know much. I didn't study much because at the point of time I was given at a very young age that the option of choosing what I want.
Okay.
Like my dad didn't really give me say, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. He just say,
you had the freedom.
Happy can already. Just do whatever makes you happy. So I just I like this school. It was near my place, so I just chose it. So after that, long story short, skipped school. Met with hang out with bad influence. In fact, so because of that, then when it came to secondary school, when I was Sec 3, I was demoted from express to normal acad. So at that point of time, if it might be a joke to some, but to me at that point of time, I was thinking maybe I just go sell bak chor mee, go sell hand food, really go like Ang Mo Kio or Toa Payoh and sell hand food. Like that, it's going to be my life. Okay. Like I really think that I can earn good money, and change phone every month or every year, doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
Then I think it was Sec 4. Sec 4, so one of my, it was after my N-level prelims. So if you know how N-level works, they will take the top 3 subjects. One of them must be English.
Okay.
1 English and 2 other subjects. The total 3, you must have less than 10 points. Then you can go up to O levels.
Okay.
So at that point of time, my prelims was 17 points, which is like crazy. Like it's like as good as like gone case really lah.
Okay.
So one of my English teacher pulled me aside and said, Leslie, why are you doing this? Why are you destroying your own life? You're a very smart boy, and why you want to do this? And at the point of time, my dad also came in to me and said this, if you feel like you don't want to study anymore, just quit school now, and you just work with me together.
Your dad actually said that?
Yeah, my dad actually said that. Really. So at that point of time, my dad is a very humble guy that does delivery. Means he does like delivery work. Means using blood and sweat to exchange for money. So at that point of time, I told myself, that's not the life I want. And be with that teacher who actually gave me that remark, made me realize that this is not what I want. Like really not what I want. Like that was really a wake up call. And
but when you say wake up call, I just want to actually dive in a little bit deeper. If you could bring yourself back to that moment when your teacher first told you that, right? Like you mentioned that she asked you, why do you want to destroy your life?
yeah,
How were you feeling at that point of time?
I would say I was taken aback because at that point of time I didn't realize that a teacher would care so much about a student, and
So she was genuinely caring about you, not like saying like, why do you want to destroy your life?
No, it was she really genuinely felt that I was, in her words, a very smart boy, and I'm just tarnishing my life or ruining my life just because I want to have fun with friends.
Okay.
Like I took fun as a priority over studies and over anything else, and thought that it was cool to be a delinquent at that point of time. So yeah. So that was then. Then she really sat me down and really talked to me about that. I think that was the point where really made me realize that this is not the life I want. And then I just told myself that if I want to really reset my life, I had to remove friends for my bad influence friends, and I really cut ties, like legit cut ties. Like even today, I still don't talk to them anymore. Like it was that bad. Like I had to cut those ties. I had to stop all those things, and within like 3 to 6 months, I had to strategize what I need to do. So at that point of time, I was like thinking, okay, I need to make sure my English goes up. I need to choose a few subjects. So math was one of them. So what happened after the prelims, like the next 3 to 6 months, I just studied really, really hard on my own, and I just cut off all friends and all those bad vices like skip school and just go to the arcade and play games. So I cut off everything. When I went for my N levels and I got my results, I got 7. 1 for English, 3 for math, and 3 for, I think it's combined humanities or something like that. I can't remember exactly. So I got 7 points. So at the point,
social studies,
something like that. I can't remember that exactly. But the funny thing was that my teachers thought it wasn't me. Because it was like 17 to 7.
Okay.
So it's like a super big jump, you see.
Okay.
Like everyone at that point of time thought that, okay, let's make it's gonna fail, it's gonna be another like, I don't know, scum of the universe, scum of the society or shit like that. So I didn't really think so much, you see. I mean, I didn't bother lah. So when they saw the results, like, sure or not? They was like, okay, what's your IC number? What's your name? We double check. So apparently someone told me that one of the teachers actually went to MOE or don't know where to check whether that result was mine. Because he just couldn't understand why I could do it.
Okay.
And I mean, after that, I realized that because I had to streamline my study, I had to cut off a lot of subjects. I realized that if I were to go O levels, I didn't have enough subjects to work on. So I just went the ITE route. Someone told me, you go ITE, you can still go in Poly. So when ITE, I studied really hard, did very well, went to Poly. Of course, when you go Poly, you start to, have friends, you start to really, again, didn't do very, very well. I mean, I did okay, but I didn't do very well. The reason being because I realized that during one of my internship where I was actually posted to NCS, is actually one of the well-known IT companies in Singapore.
National Computer
Systems or something or something like that. I can't remember that full name. So one of my project manager, I mean, basically what she wanted me to do was this program part whereby I'm supposed to create the GPRS connection between the you know those like DHL, they had this like tablet long thingy, they will scan, then they will. So I'm supposed to create the program that captures the data, send via GPRS to the warehouse. I need to write that module. And I wrote that I had like 3 months to write, I think 3 or 6, I can't remember exactly, 3 months to write the module. I wrote it in the first month already.
Okay.
And the next 2 months, I was just telling him I'm debugging. So I just drag, or I just any point of time I just show a bit, because I know how to
finish whatever you needed.
I finished already, but I just wanted to like just have a chill period, don't write on me. So she was very busy. She had a lot of projects on hand, and because I wrote that part right, despite my poor attendance at work, she actually had to still give me a B because I really did my work.
Okay.
And I solved her problem.
Okay.
But she same thing again. She came down and she sat me down and so talked to me, say that I know you're very smart. Actually, I know you more or less completed it because I know you know what you're doing. But I didn't want to. I didn't have time to go and manage you. And she was a mother of 2, and she was like in her late 30s. Her income at the point in time was like drawing about 4K. She was handling like 5, 6, 7 projects at one go. Then I was realizing that despite that programming was something that I really, really like to do, it was never something that it was something that I thought that I can pursue long term. But with her sharing with me what she was doing, right, I realized that it wasn't something that I can see myself doing so hard, working long hours, not being able to have time with my family, and just chasing the money. And I thought, well, that's not something I want.
Okay.
So after which I went to NS. So I went NS, so I thought, hey, why not I go and try being a firefighter?
Okay.
Because save lives, I thought it was quite cool lah. Like, you make sure that your body is in tip-top shape and you can save lives. I thought, why not? And one of the things that I really when I look back, right, it was because I can work 1 day and rest 2 days. That was the previous working schedule. Like, you work 24 hours, the next 48 hours you're on leave. Okay. So in 1 month, 30 days, you only work like 10 days. Your income is like maybe 3,000-4,000 a month, which is actually quite good money. But I realized that in order for me to be a hero, someone has to suffer.
Okay.
Which I felt that it wasn't something that I was very comfortable with. Like, in order for me to be a hero on papers and whatnot, right, someone has to suffer, be it death or be it like burns or whatever it is. And I realized that that's not exactly what I want. But at the point of time, I just thought like, but ultimately, I'm still doing the greater good. It was to serve the community and everything. So I thought, okay, why not? I'm being paid well. I'm doing this. Why not? Unfortunately, during the training, because of heat exhaustion, I 3 times. On the 3rd time, they said that no, I can't take the risk anymore. You need to be out of course, because any further, if something happens to you, then the organization has to just bear responsibility of my death.
Heat exhaustion, as in like.
Because of the training, you have to wear like the bunker gear, where you have to wear the fireman suit. So you
passed out?
So I passed out.
Really?
Yeah, 3 times. So the third time they say,
we're about to find out very interesting things about my buddy here, because there are a lot of parts that he's been sharing all this while that I actually do not know about for the past 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, I think you hear bits and pieces of that, but you never really hear the full story of
very interesting
from the beginning to where I am today.
Okay.
I think all along you hear bits and pieces. So after that, of course, I was posted to admin position, admin role lah, and just sit there and just do administrative stuff. That's how I became very good at Excel.
Okay.
And because of I've got programming background, so I'm very good at Excel. So I just did all the programming for all the Excel spreadsheets and the system. Then I just realized I don't know what to do. So at that point of time, I look at myself and say, hey, guys my age have 2 years behind because I went ITE. Females my age, I'm 4 years behind. 2 years NS, 2 years ITE. So I thought to myself, what are the things that I really would make me have a better income? So either I sell car, sell insurance, sell property.
And how old were you at this point of time?
23, 24, about 23, 24.
Seems to me that, like, ever since you went through IT, or even before that, like even when going back to when your teacher first told you that, hey, why do you want to destroy your life? From that, like when you say that it was a wake-up call, it seems to me that it was really a wake-up call, because it's like, ever since then, you have always been like, I'm sure, of course, a lot of us are not like, even when we are very young, like in our teenage years and like rebellious years, you don't like consciously think about what do you want to do and like be so kind of focused in your own way. Like, this is basically what are the choices I have on hand, and these are the options that I can actually choose. A lot of us like don't even know what options are there because we simply do not know what kind of direction we wanted to actually pursue. It seems like you have always been that ever since your teacher told you about.
Yeah, I would say now that you bring it up, I sort of always have something that I always have like something in mind that I want to do. Whether is it like concrete or not, it really depends. But I always factor in like.
And it's always like you want to do some valuable work.
Yeah, I would say I would like to think so lah. I would like to think so lah, because I think the programming part was something I know I'll enjoy, but I felt that like I don't think that I will be very happy, and I don't see any joy or anything I could do. Like that was one. Then
the programming one was how old were you?
I was probably it would be 05, 06, 07, 08. So that would be when I'm 07, 08. So I will be probably, I guess 21, 22, 20, 21, 22, thereabouts.
Okay. And you already were thinking about like, if you were to do long hours, then like you would have to sacrifice family time.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. Like, that is basically the kind of thing that was actually running through your mind.
Correct, but I think one of the things that only recently, I only read this like maybe the last 1-2 years, and it was told to me this, then I just want to share, like, it's really true. Like, if you want to see what your life is going to be like in 10 years, thank you, how you want to see your life in 10 years, see what your boss is doing right now. Like, if your boss is living a life that you don't want, then this is not the job you want. And at the point of time, she is my project manager, and at the point of time, she's living a life that I don't want. So I knew that if I were to pursue this path down continuously, I will be where she was, or where she is at the point of time. And I told myself, that's not what I want. So I only realized this only like recently. Then when I went to look back, and it makes a lot of sense. Like, a lot of us, we think we want the best. I would say, like, we have an ideal job we want, or maybe is it auditing, is it a interior designer, it could be a digital marketer. But if you look at where we are now, and we look at our boss, where they are, and we don't like the lifestyle they're living, then this is not where we should be focusing on, because ultimately we will be where they are and going through what they're going through. So I feel that that is something that if today, if there was a point to take back, one of the takeaway points I would say is this: to really review at where you are right now in your life, and see where your boss is right now. If this is not what you want, then maybe it's time for you to reconsider where you want to go.
Then what happened after that?
NCS and NS. Then after that, so what happened was during the last, I think the last 1 year. So I crossed the 1 year mark in my NS, and I told myself, okay, I think I need at least a degree to make sure that I can find a decent job.
Okay.
So that was the point where money came into the picture, whereby my dad didn't have enough money to fund for my tertiary education, further my studies, which is my degree. So I went to the banks, find all the education loans, like how is it like, everything. So then I didn't really present the full story to my dad, but I just shared him, this is what I want to do, this is the loan I need, and I need your help because I need you to be a guarantor. I need someone to help me pay the bills. And at the beginning, I will not have the money because I'm still in NS. So going forward, maybe you could help me a bit. And he just told me, sorry, I cannot offer any money right now because I need to pay for my younger sister's education.
Okay.
She'll study LaSalle at a point of time, so LaSalle costs quite a fair bit. And he had to pay cash already because I think it's either the CPF withdrawal, he has hit it, or he has no more money in his CPF account. So he had to pay cash. So at the point of time, it was either tertiary education for my sister or higher education for me. So of course, being the older brother, I thought that I shouldn't deny my sister of a tertiary education.
Right.
And I should forgo my degree. I just told myself, worst case scenario, I go out work, then earn some money, then I do part-time degree. So at the point of time, I just told myself, what are the things I can do? Again, property, sell cars, sell insurance. So how it really brought me down to sell insurance or go into the line of insurance, it was, what happened was one of my friends that I was working with many years ago when I was in Newburn Mill. And he actually passed away because of a bike accident. And I went for the funeral lah. And I just saw that his mother was crying and everything. Then an agent actually went over and passed her a 100,000 check.
At the funeral.
At the funeral. And you know, it's a very cliche, typical story, but I saw it myself. And that was when I realized that, oh shit, like that money meant a lot, because my friend at the point of time, and the mother, the single mom, they were both working to support each other, and that money meant a lot to the mother, you see. And she was also wondering how she's going to pay for the funeral and everything, because that's why all of us was like trying to chip a bit more for the funeral, like the baiting or the, I don't know what I call it in English, but like just to give more money to the mom so that she can pay off whatever she can pay. But at that time we didn't earn much, you see. So we just tried our best, like 50, 30, every dollar counts for her. But it was the check that she broke down and cried and say, thank you very much, thank you, this means a lot to me. And I realized that that's something that I want to do. As much as I know it's not a nice thing to do, like someone pass on and you pass the check, but the act of being able to be there for that person, right, to make sure that she don't have to suffer anymore, I think that was something that really touched me. And after that, because of what happened, then made me realize that it was something that I really want to do. As cliche as it sounds, it's really very heartwarming, and I don't say heartwarming, I would say it's more about like life-changing in that sense. Like it's very cliche, you know, funeral, insurance agent give check. I saw it myself, so I really saw it myself, and I realized that that really matters a lot to the mom. And just like one of my mentors who actually shared with me before, like when one life ends, another continues.
This friend of yours was someone who was very close to you?
I won't say he's very close to me, but he was someone that was one of my subordinates when I was working retail part-time, but I was like the part-time store manager of sorts. So he's one of the subordinates or one of the salesperson, retail guy. And very super nice guy. Like, you know, you don't expect him to be late, you expect him to be on time, you expect him to be, you know, like prim and proper. He's the kind of small, got angkong, got tattoo and everything, but he's just very nice person, and he's always on time, always like very, he don't slack, things like that, yeah.
Something that's actually very interesting is that, like even for this podcast, right, like what I've actually told him, like before we actually did this podcast, is that I want to actually challenge myself to really understand more of who you are, because I've actually known so much about him already. 8 to 9 years. But I always have this very I always have this observation about him as a person, is that and now that I actually hear, you know, as he actually recalls the past, like things that he actually went through, you have always struck me as a very self-reflective person. Like like you know, you always think beyond the surface, which I'm not sure. I mean, there are a lot. I'm quite sure there are a lot of people who actually have this natural quality about them. But like, I haven't personally around my circle. I do not see much of that. And yeah, like, you know, from all the, I won't say small events from your past, but like those events when they actually did happen in your life, you reflect them and you continuously, like, not sit on them, but like try to link up on what I need to do next, in the sense that try to find a deeper meaning of what it actually really means and how it can actually, you know, lead down to your next path.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I would say I like to think so. I always have that what's next kind of feeling. Like I need to what's next? What's the next thing I need to do? What's the next thing I want to do? And like I would say from time to time I try and do. I think I don't know who taught me this, but it's just I knew that I need to reflect on myself consistently. Like, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Yeah, I just thought that's something I need to do.
Okay. Talk to me about your first few years of your career.
I would say the first few years of the career, it was basically mainly survivability. The survival was key. So the first few years, I was just fully focused on money. So it was just money driven. Not say I didn't put my clients' interests first, just that I was more concerned about making the money than anything else. I didn't miss out at all. It's just that money was more important than anything else. So I did very well for my first full year as an insurance agent. In fact, I was ranked 5th in the rookie category for that year when I did my first full year. So, and I realized that a lot of times it's easy to be successful. And one of the things I think I talked about was that it's easy to maintain it. There's only one word, which is just being consistent. But the thing is that how do you manage it? I think managing success is the hardest part. Because I didn't know how to manage my success. I had success at a very young age. I think it was like 25, 26. At that point of time. I didn't know how to manage. I have influx of money. I could do a lot of things. I drove a Beamer. I could go holiday and SM when I want. But I didn't know how to carry myself. I didn't know how I was treating. And I realized that the way I talk also changed. So because of that, I lost a friend. And that friend of mine, she just missed a very big part of my life for the last 5 years. And only recently I connected with him. And the last time I met him was like, we had like conversation for that lasted like 6 hours just to catch up. And he told me things like, do you know that you make comments like, it's not I can't afford it. Look at the car I drive. This is just more money. And it was very natural of me to say that without me realizing it. I could remember me saying the first line.
Oh, okay.
Like I think we were at some event. So I can't remember. I can't remember what was it. I think it was some event, and the person was like, I cannot really recall it. We need to think. I cannot recall. I think it was like basically I can't really remember the exact conversation what happened. I think it was maybe I just give an example. I think it's easier if I give an example because I cannot remember the exact context of what happened, the event. But let's just say example. Let's just say I go to maybe a restaurant and I order food. So maybe I'm supposed to get something free, maybe a free side. And the person just refused to give me, for whatever reasons. I would say a line like, it's not I can't afford the free side one. It's just, why you can't give it to me? And look at what car I drive. You think I can't afford that kind of money?
So do you remember saying these things?
I remember the first part. I don't remember the second part.
Okay. So your friend was actually pointing it.
Yeah, my friend, he did say that he also apologized to me for not pointing it out to me because I was being snobbish without me realizing it.
Okay.
And that made me realize that, it took me 5 years later to find out that actually,
and for a lot of people's context out there, at this point of time, although I've actually known Leslie for maybe about 2 years maybe, for the first 3 to 4 years, we don't really hang out that much. We were in the same team. We are still in the same team, in fact. But we've only gotten closer like maybe the past
2 years.
4 years, I would say.
4 years.
4 years, I would say. Yeah, it's just circumstances. So I don't really have a lot of context of what he said. Like, cause I think maybe when we at the point when we started to become much closer, I don't think he was really like that anymore. So it's very interesting to actually hear this side of him. I cannot really imagine that he actually said such things. But
if anybody, any of my friends are listening and looking at this video, if I was ever snobbish to you and I put you down in any way, I apologize because I really, really didn't know. Like, I lost a friend and I didn't even know that. And it was because he told me 5 years later, then I know. And it was just comments like this that I didn't even realize it. Like, I wasn't trying to show off. It was me being... It's just like how we handle things. Like it could be a different way to put it across would be, it's not about the money, it's a matter of principle, but it's just the way I bring across was, it's not I can't afford it. It's not that I can't afford it. Look at what car I drive.
So looking back, right, because what we were going through, like, the first few parts of your life,
Sure.
you have always been very reflective and like really thought about what the other party would feel and things like that.
Yeah.
What do you think at this period of time, because you actually mentioned about, like managing success and all that.
Sure.
What do you think at this period of time kind of like, I don't know, clouded you in sort of way, or what made you temporarily change during this period of time, and then after that now you realize in hindsight what has changed?
I would say money.
Okay.
I would say money. I think we are so focused on chasing the money. We're so focused on making the money that we neglect a lot of things in life. Like even my friend that I lost, he in the end he had a very he still has a very successful F&B business. And there was a period of time he himself told me he also got lost. He had money, he just went into Chuan Watch, buy 2 Panerai for whatever reasons. He had like, at one point in time, within I think I spent about 6 months, he bought like 6-7 watches just because he could. And I think it's like, if you were to see all the videos online, it's all about how to be successful, but no one tells you how to manage it. And that's the scary part of things, where you start to realize that money is easy to make, but character is hard to build. That's what I feel. Like it took me a while, because of the money I had. The money was easily made. At that point of time for me, I actually just spend frivolously on random things, knowing at the back of my head, if I close another deal, I can get back the money or things like that. But as time goes by, I realized that it's not what I want. I also feel disgusted, and I just felt that wasn't really me being me.
Did it kind of get in the way of the quality of work that you did for your clients?
I would say that no, it didn't. As much as how I'm driven in that sense at the point of time with money, but I still
That was
felt
a line that you...
That was a line I didn't cross, because I told myself one thing: I want to be able to sleep at night. Like, I don't want to wake up one day like, I've seen colleagues who are very fearful of picking up customers' phone, like because they know they missell or they said something wrong, and when this particular customer calls him, he will never pick up.
Okay.
So I never want to have that in their life, and I always believe that Singapore is a very small world. Like, there's so many times me and you we go out, hey, this is actually who's friend, or this is whose cousin, and this who. Singapore is very small, and I believe that eventually the person that if I were to cheat or to defraud or to missell the person, one day this person could be, I don't know, maybe the father of my son or my daughter's parent. I don't know. Like, I just felt that what goes around comes around, and I never knew that I knew that there's something that I will never cross. That's at least for me. So then that's the problem, you see, because I always had that minimum principle that I work with, and when I needed sales to come in to fund my frivolous spending, there was a choke point, because I couldn't cross that line. So I couldn't missell or anyhow sell to get in sales fast. Okay. So that's why at the point of time, how much I earned and how much I spent was very imbalanced, and I couldn't build it back up.
Okay.
Yeah, but if I were to do missell, it's very easy for me to build that up, without a doubt.
Okay.
Because, I mean, you heard so many stories of people that we know that missell and did very well in their career, then after that, just disappeared.
Right. So it's not really the ethics side of things, it's really more of your personal way of managing success at that point.
Correct. Like, I think that was the part that I feel scary. I mean, I can't say I'm very good or I'm very ethical. I'm no saint myself. I mean, I still make mistakes from time to time, but what I'm trying to say is that if I didn't have that principle in me, I've done a lot of things that I've regretted a lot. And yeah, I'll be ashamed and regret a lot. And that's something that I felt that I can still be proud of. And I've got clients who have followed me for the last, 9 years, 7 years, and they are still with me. They still trust me. We become very good friends, and I'm thankful for that. The relationship that I've forged over the years, they really treat me like friends. And yeah, I think that's very important.
So now that you've gone through almost like close to a decade, now that 2020 is actually coming to a corner, being in this career, how has your perspective changed in terms of like, management of your success and all that? How are you managing yourself now?
I would say that it's very important to always reflect on yourself. I still feel like there are times where, in fact, recently we went shopping and I made a very weird comment. Like, I think we went for the Hermes event, remember? So I just wanted to give, because we were there. Then in the end, I bought something there, and I wanted to give you one of the paper bag. So, and you guys bought a lot of gifts for, I think for like Fiona's got kids and her friends, everything. And you made this comment, I didn't want the paper bag, it's just for fun only. I mean, the paper bag is worth nothing. Whatever I put inside, it's a free gift because of the workshop we went. Then I just made a very casual remark, the paper bag that I have right now, it costs more than whatever you're holding on to. And you had like 3-4 big bags of gifts. Then I realized that that was it was meant to be a joke. But when I reflected, I was like, oh shit, that was very uncalled for. And actually later on, I actually apologized to you. Hey, you know what? I said the comment and I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean it that way.
Which is very interesting. Because Fiona is actually right behind the camera right now. Do you even remember this comment? She actually shared with me. I thought it was like, huh? I don't even remember he actually said that. Do you remember?
I remember the comment, but it didn't bother me.
Yeah, maybe because
Okay. I totally have no recollection of this at all.
I think maybe for Fiona, it's like, I'm not that kind of person.
Okay.
And that comment, like, there are times where I think, like, recently also because of we're trying to engage you with Avery from Vayner Media, and because I realized that I know someone that can link you there, I just got very excited. I just called you, hey bro, I tell you this, and he was like, huh? What is it all about? Like, I get very carried away on a lot of things.
Okay.
So then I always, if you realize that after a while, right, I actually apologize to you, say, hey, you know what? Sorry if I'm being a very bad friend, or sorry I always catch you at the wrong time, or always throw shit at you and things like that. I think that's something that I always try and reflect on, especially friends. Like clients, sometimes maybe I don't know, like maybe they don't understand me, but most of the time, I always try and say I apologize for certain things, and I think it's very important to know, to reflect on what you say. Sometimes
I think that's a very good quality to have, and like actually I'm not sure, but now that I actually think back, maybe the first 2 years, I think, when I first got to know you, not to the extent that it's actually right now, but what I'm trying to say is that I think people who just got to know you on the surface probably would not know this side of you. Like, you may just come off as an egoistical kind of person. I can understand that, but it's a very good quality that you actually have, like being self-reflective and all that. But one thing I would like to actually touch on, and maybe you can actually point it out if I'm actually wrong, is that, do you think that by doing this, which is innately, I think it's good, do you think that at times you will judge yourself a bit too much?
Yes, I do agree. There are some times where...
Do you beat yourself up for it?
I wouldn't beat myself for it. Like, there are times where I want to do certain thing and I'll just ask you, I already have my thought process down, and I just message you, hey bro, this is what I'm going to do. What do you think? And you just tell me, you always give me that, actually you already know what to do already. Just go ahead. You just need someone to just reassure you that you're doing the right thing. And I think that's the point where sometimes we need someone like, I think everyone needs a Kai. I mean, that's what I feel like. There's someone that actually be there to help you to look through at certain things. Like, even sometimes you also ask me why, like, is this something you want to do? Like, and likewise I will also ask you, this is something I want to do. And it's just to help us to really, not say validate, but to just be that assurance that you're on the right track. I think that's very important. So I think one of the things that is very important is that a lot of people are caught up with the money when they join the industry. No wrong about it, because ultimately you're here to make a living, you're here to give better life for your family, yourself, and maybe whoever depends on you for money, without a doubt. But I think I start to see a lot of people get so caught up with money, like chasing the money to the point where they neglect that, it's not everything.
So you're seeing like what you used to, like the person that you used to be, and you're seeing a lot of people that's doing similar
things. There was a period of time where, I didn't even manage my own finances well. And because I had not so much money, but I was making a lot more than my peers. So I didn't know how to manage it. And and there was a lot of mistakes that I could have avoided if I knew how to manage my money, or rather success. I will not say money, because managing money is not difficult. There's so many things you can read online. I know how many percentage of money to save, blah, 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 blah. It's very easy to find all these things out. But it's the managing it itself, the success mindset you have, that's the tough part.
There's a floodgate of cash flowing in, and you not being able to control that.
Yeah, how you think. I think the part, it's not the habits, but it's how your mindset is. If you keep thinking that it's small money, I can always make the money back, everything, then you start to thumb people down. You start to look down on people just because that. I think that's the mindset that I think is very important. I've seen so many. I think everyone also seen so many insurance agent online flaunting their wealth, what car they drive, what watch they wear, and everything. I mean, no wrong. There's always no wrong flaunting all those good. I mean, those luxury goods and what you deserve.
It's your social media, so you do whatever you want.
Yeah, I agree. And number two, it's you work hard for it. That nobody can take that away from you. You really work hard for it, and you want to enjoy yourself. I think it's fine. It's good. I got friends who just bought new car, bought Porsche, bought a new Rolex. I'm happy for them because I'm also happy with their success. But the only thing I fear is, do you know how to manage it? Especially if those are very long in the business. I believe they know what they're doing based on what I know of. But I'm more afraid of those who are young, just joined 1-2 years, and they're so caught up with the money.
It's actually more of buying certain things instead of really rewarding themselves for themselves. They actually bought those items, the cars and watches that you actually just mentioned, is really more for showing to the world or the people around them that they have made it to a certain extent, living up to a certain expectations that they thought other people are imposing on them. Is that what you're getting at?
I think, to put it simply, it's they're using all these luxury goods to validate themselves. They've made it. I mean, no wrong, but
no wrong to reward yourself.
No wrong, but don't to keep validating yourself for that. Eventually, the person that suffers the most is yourself, because you make so much money, you spend so much things to validate on social media or on whatever it is in real life. Then ultimately, do you still have money in your pocket? And because of you doing this, are you turning away people that you truly love? Because they get so caught up by it. Because I need to live up to that life of luxury goods, the good life, everything, that I work so hard to maintain that lifestyle, that I overlooked people that I love, I care about, like maybe your family, your loved ones, your spouse, your kids, for example. And yeah, that's what even my friend that I lost for 5 years, he also went through that, and he told me that because of what he went through, he actually lost someone he loved for 13 years because of he got so caught with the money. And I mean, I felt very bad. Like I wasn't there for him during that period of time. But he shared with me that if he were to turn back time, he had given up everything for her. And that made me realize that, no matter how much money we have, we really got to take care of the people that love us truly for who we are. Money is very important, I don't deny it, but don't let money overtake your life.
So what keeps you going now?
I would say that
8 to 9 years of experience, and you've gone through the good and the bad and all that, and shaping into who you are as a financial services professional.
I would say value, really give true value. Over the last 1 year-ish, I will feel that my growth, in fact, I would say that probably since last year to now, I feel that my personal growth has been exponential. Even though I've been in the business for 8-9 years, I felt that there's a change in me in terms of personally, because I realized that money, you can never compete money. There's always someone richer. and it's very easily taken away from you. Likewise, at one point in time, I was driving a Beamer. I had a lot of things. I had a lot of beauty. Now I have nothing of those things. But what stayed on was the wisdom and that value that I've given out. No one can take away from me. And I realized that you can be the richest person we've seen so many cases like the richest people then just suddenly became bankrupt overnight. And I realized that the richest you can have in the world can be taken away from you just that easily. But the value you bring people can never be taken away. So over the last 1-2 years, I focused on building myself in terms of value adding myself. Being able to value add people. And I find that it was really, I realized that over the last a year or so, that the true passion I really have is sharing and coaching people. Like just share what I like most, like what I eat, what I do and everything. And I really find a lot of joy in doing that. So like what keeps me going now is really to bring value to people around me. Like recently I did a video on how to do financial planning. That video cost me 5 hours on a Sunday. Of course the editing, everything was really a pain in the ass. I don't deny it. It's really,
really
bad.
First time editing a video, right?
Wow, very, very tough. But I can tell you the joy of me bringing it up, then I see people liking everything. I felt very happy. I really felt very happy. Like I really be able to bring that true value to people. And
what's the most memorable comment or anything that people said to you ever since that?
I think the most memorable one was one of my client. He said this to me, which I was like, he said this, because of that video I did, he now has a reason. All the more it's easier for him to share, to refer people to me. All he need to do is just share the video of this video of mine to his friends to let them understand the importance of financial planning. I mean, whether they will whether he refers to me, it doesn't matter. But at least people are more educated. Because I ultimately, I was just having this conversation with someone. Like, I can't remember who. I had this conversation. Then they said that it's there's always this saying that rich get richer, and the poor get poorer. But if you were to go down to the basic form, right? Actually, it's not. It's the educated get richer.
Okay.
Because like we look at how things are, like when people overstretch themselves for certain things, like they overstretch themselves to buy property, to buy car, to buy whatsoever things. The moment the market crashes, the job market is bad, they have to sell whatever they have at a loss. And those who are smart or educated in the sense whereby they keep money for those rainy days, they're able to buy those things at a cheaper rate. Then when for example, the market bounce back and goes up, then they have made the killing there. So I always I sort of disagree the line of the rich get richer, but the educated get richer. Then that actually made me really want to do more on this kind of videos to make sure that people get educated through, like, financial planning is not so scary. Like it's actually quite interesting. In fact, one of my clients was like, hey, this is very interesting. I didn't know about all these things. So I realized that through the videos, the first video I made, and I'm going to make more, I could really value people a lot more and faster at a bigger scale. And eventually they will understand that it's not the rich get richer, but the educated get richer.
I think that's a very, very good point.
Yeah.
It's a very strong message and really valuable message to actually deliver to people. And I think the challenge is really to slowly get it across, because not every single person, like everyone, including ourselves, we always kind of like the easier way out is always tuning it towards instant gratification rather than delayed gratification. So like whenever it's actually like the latest thing, the latest bling bling or whatever that actually interests an individual, without much needed thought or anything like that, the easier way out is always to go and grab it.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, there's the 11/11, and now coming up, there's actually the 12/12 holiday season and all that. So, yeah, what do you think about all these like challenges, like about getting people through this, like
what do you mean by that?
this whole idea about instant gratification? Or
I think, to be honest, right, it's tough. It's really very tough because the rise of IT, the rise of AIs made the key commodity right now is convenience. Convenience in anything you do. Like, for example, I think I was just sharing, we had a meeting recently with one of the corporate staff, and I was just sharing with them that convenience is key. Today, it's no longer about who is cheaper, but who is faster. I mean, cheap is still something that people still like, okay, I want it cheap, I want it good. But fast is what we want. Like a lot of times you can compare, maybe like, for example, this cup, it could be $10. This could be going at 8, but I get this now, right now. And that I can wait 1 week. For the $2, I'll say, okay, never mind, I'll just get this cup at $10 because I can get it right now. That made instant gratification a lot worse right now in the current society because it's so difficult for us to wait 1 week for that $2 savings. Excuse me. Even I myself is a culprit. I'm also a victim of it. Like, just sometimes where like I just need a cab, you know, I just needed to go to some place and I just book Grab, Grab, instead of waiting for a cab, which I know cab will be definitely cheaper. But just because I wanted the convenience, I don't want to wait and everything, I just booked the Grab. And of course, that's where the next thing happens about offerings, where you get points, you get everything. So I think it's a lot harder to get out of the instant gratification, that thought process, the mindset is very hard. But it's just something we need to take note of, and we need to understand that convenience is key now. So sometimes we just have to sit back or sit down or just stop for a moment and just think back. Is this what we want? Is this what we really want? Instead of being just jumping to, I want this and go for it now, and then after that, if this is not really what I want.
Okay, so again, through your decade of experience, now that you're a financial services manager,
Sure.
through your own lens, through your own eyes, right, how do you think has the industry changed over the years?
I would say that the biggest, most of the agents' fear is that AI is going to take over their job. Especially the older generation of the consultants. But the truth is that AI is just a tool to ease up efficiency. It will never replace the job, because ultimately financial planning is still, you need the human touch. It can never be replaced by an AI. They can replace certain parts of it, but never the full process. So a lot of the older folks are very resistant to the change in terms of using IT. And I think that's something that it's quite sad to see sometimes, because some things are done to ease your life, but because they're so scared that if they embark on this, everything else changes. It's like the first step to the end, or to the end of our career, which if you look at it, it will never be that way. You just need to understand it better. Yeah. So I think, again, still a lot of money being thrown around. The key message that I see majority of agency leaders are there are still selling money. No wrong. Again, I feel that there is no wrong in selling money, because people need money to survive. It's a matter. It's just a, how should I put it? We are not charity.
When you say selling money, I think for people who are not in this industry, that basically means that you are selling like the promise of the kind of income that you can draw in this career. Yeah,
correct. Like promise of like 8K, 10K yearly trips, driving good cars. I think recently, very funny, there was this, someone was sharing with me, there was this ad going around on Instagram. So the ad was, of the background is actually at Ya Kun, I guess. It was an iPad and a Mercedes key. So the ad is to recruit insurance agent.
Oh.
So it's like, obviously you're trying to sell that I can drive a Merc lah. So, I mean, it's true, we can really drive a Merc if you work really hard. No, it's not a hidden secret. But I think it's that, can and again, like, I think back to the point I bring across, can the person, once they reach that success, can they manage it? And if you see around, and I've seen it myself over the last 9 years, and I think I'll still continue to see this, I've seen a lot of people became very successful, get a lot of recognition, collect a lot of accolades and everything. 3 years down the road, 4 years down the road, leave the industry entirely and just to do something else. Be it to the bank, be it to do property, to be anything. You just leave. And you say that, hey, then I start to ask, like, hey, why you leave? Like, you were doing very well, better than me, then why you leave? Just got sick and tired of chasing the money, or sick and tired of the sales and everything. Then I realized that they came in for money, which is again no wrong, because after all it's a sales job. But they fail to understand the value of what we do for a living, and that burns out them. Because ultimately the key burnout, it's just for most salespersons, it's keep chasing the figure and not understanding the value you bring to the consumer. Like in this case for us, we bring value to our clients to make sure that if something happens, things are being taken care of. Don't have to worry about money, don't have to worry about a hospital bill, someone's taking care of it. But I think maybe they got lost along the way, I'm not sure. Or they just got so tired of keep chasing the figure, which I understand. I was part of it. I was in that cycle of keep chasing figure, every year resets, everything. But you got to understand what holds true to your heart. Like the value, like for me, it's really putting my clients first and really evaluating my client. And that was something that I think that keeps me going till today. And I'm still very happy doing sales. Even though I'm a manager right now, I still do my own sales because number one, I want to keep myself abreast of the current market situation. At the same time, they're still my clients. I still want to make sure that I do my best to service them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with all this in mind, and then with all this that you have actually said, and then going forward, whether it is industry-wise or maybe just in your personal career, what are you most excited about? What are you most excited about right now? Like what's top of your mind? What are you currently doing?
I think what is the key thing that I've seen happening right now, again, it's what I'm embarking on, which is to really bring value. I've seen more and more, I see more and more agents that are trying to bring value to their customers through like social media, branding themselves, that who they are as a person, to be genuine. I think that's a key thing, that to let them know that after all we're human, to let them know that after all this is what I stand for, and bringing value to their customers. I've seen more and more of these kind of agents coming up nowadays. They could be 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years in the business, and they're doing that. They're rebranding themselves to really bring more value to their customer, which I feel that it elevates the whole entire industry together. But there are still people that I see, they are doing it with the intention to sell, which makes the message either very unpure, very mixed, and just start to make me feel like, why are you doing this? Like I myself could sense it, and I'm an agent myself, let alone your customers or the people that are trying to portray. Like, am I selling something for the sake of selling, or I'm bringing value for the sake of bringing value so that I could sell something? And that also makes me even more want to, or rather make me want to do more of what I do in terms of bringing value, because I believe that eventually this pays off. I don't know when. I don't care. Not say don't care, but it's not my top priority. I would rather just, my top priority would be caring that I bring up more value, because ultimately my intention is just making sure that my clients get, or people that I meet, get true, genuine, no ulterior motive value in terms of the content, or be it like thoughts for them to help them. And I think that's very important. And instead of giving them like I'm trying to give you value, but I'm trying to sell at the same time. I think the key thing is sell yourself first, because if they don't know you enough, they wouldn't want to do business with you. Once they know you more and more, they know you better, doing business is it's an eventuality. Eventually it will happen. It's just a matter of when. So I believe in that. I truly believe in that. And yeah, I think that's very good. Like I really seen a lot more people doing that, bring value to people. Just that, try to keep the message clear. Like if you want to do, there's no wrong. Again, I believe if you want to do sales, you want to sell something, you want to post, and I say I want to sell, it's fine. If you want to post, you want to brand yourself, it's fine. But I just feel that if you want to have more impact on what you want to do, just stick to one. Then you see the impact. Like for me, in the past, I can be very honest with you, I also do like that. At the beginning of social media branding, I did post whereby I did a post trying to fulfill 3 things: brand myself, do recruitment, and do sales. When I realized that after a while, the message myself, I'm disgusted myself. Number 1, I read also I feel disgusted. Number 2, I got very lost in creating the content because I realized that it's very hard for me to think of the content because I need to fulfill 2 or 3 things in one message. And then after that, I realized I just stopped altogether because it's just so tiring to think. Then it's only recently, the last 4 months or last few months, okay, last 3 or 4 months, then I start to realize that I need to really focus on that. Like all along I've been doing that. It's just that like I'm just trying to, I will say like multitask. I think maybe it's really true that guys can't multitask very well. So for me, it's I realized that I cannot multitask. I cannot take one thing and do multiple things at the same time. So I decided that okay, I'm just going to focus on my personal branding. And if people who know me knows me that I always want to share. I always love to share like places I go, places I eat, places I travel, and like just last night. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like my body size is the proof of why my food tips are definitely genuine and legit because I eat before.
Okay.
So like I just had a conversation with my client yesterday. We were talking about New Zealand because that's my next trip going in May. And from an appointment could be easily 15 minutes about how to explain how the product works, how the product works for him. It lasted from there. It spin off to another 1.5 hours about New Zealand, like which she was just the couple. They're in their 50s and 60s. They're sharing with me like what to do in New Zealand. I said, hey, this is what I found. They were just sharing with me. Then it just went on for 1.5 hours. We had to stop because they were tired. They need to sleep really. If not, the conversation would go on another maybe half an hour. And I really enjoyed this conversation. And we just had a lot of fun. And the previous time we met, we were just discussing about food to eat around his house. I was saying, hey, I didn't know about this place. Oh, I also didn't know. So we just keep exchanging places to eat. And these are really nice interactions I have with my clients, and people that know me and had good interactions, they understand that's me. With no hidden agenda, no ulterior motive to just sell you or what. I really didn't like that at all. And
it's all about when you stay true to...
Yeah, and I realized that why offline I'm like that, but online I'm trying to be someone else. And it was very tiring. And that was something that I realized that I needed to change. That's why now I know I really enjoy creating content, really enjoy writing, enjoy doing things because
That's nice.
I realize that it's really me now.
Yeah.
Like I stopped multitasking and if people who know me, I really cannot multitask.
Stop trying to multitask.
Yeah, I really cannot multitask. If I'm messaging something, you talk to me. I think it was very funny. I don't know was it who. I think it was in the office. I was messaging. Then someone was talking to me. So another of my colleague commented, don't talk to Leslie, he cannot multitask one. Let him finish messaging, then he'll reply you. Yeah, so I realized that I cannot multitask, so I shouldn't try to multitask.
I on the other hand, whenever he actually messages, I just don't talk to him because I know.
Yeah.
I don't even try. Okay, the last 2 sections, which is actually going to be a lightning series of questions.
Sure.
But I might, just out of my own curiosity, I might still ask for elaboration from this question because I'm super interested in what you're going to be saying. First one. Your favorite movie that you've watched this decade?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Why?
If you have watched the show, I think you've seen how much he struggled to really be happy, to really take care.
The one by Will Smith.
Yeah, the one by Will Smith. Like
I love that show too.
I really think that it's something you should watch. Like everybody should watch. Like I think even I think back now, I have emotions because it's like he really against all odds to want to be a stockbroker, and eventually he got the job. And the funny thing was that in life a lot of times we just give up, and it's very, very tough to go through a lot of things. And I think that's something that I think really close to my heart. Like you know, sometimes things get going, like the going gets tough. It's very difficult. I think that's something that I feel would be good to know that, you know, eventually it will pay off. You just need to hold on. You need to tough it out.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Second question, pineapple on your pizza?
Yes, I love pineapple on pizza. and that's the only reason, or rather that is, for those who don't know me, those who know me or those who don't know me, I don't eat fruits. I really hate fruits for whatever reason. But I love veg. Yeah.
But I didn't know that you like your pineapple.
But I really eat pineapple on pizza. Like really, I love pineapple on pizza. Like that's the only only pineapple I eat.
Okay, and the next one is something that's a fan, like Fiona is very much a fan of ice cream with French fries. Okay, the face shows everything.
I don't know why.
Cannot relate.
Yeah, I cannot relate. It's just like I cannot relate why people love soggy fries. I cannot relate. I don't eat soggy fries. I don't eat French fries with ice cream. But I like crispy fries.
Okay.
Like I always order, like because of health reasons, I now order fries without salt.
Okay.
And the byproduct of the benefit of it is I get always fresh crispy fries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love crispy fries also.
Yeah. So order fries without salt. Healthy for you
So
also.
you can
Less
put
salt,
any other
please.
sauce you want.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Okay, I think this is going to be quite challenging.
Wow. Okay.
Pick one of these two. Live a month without a smartphone,
Okay.
or live a month without social media.
Live a month without smartphone or live a month without social media. Wow, it's very tough. Wait. I would pick social media. I will not have social media for a month.
Okay, first reason that comes to your mind for your
Convenience.
Okay.
Like I'm very dependent on technology right now. Like my phone, I use my phone for like transportation, to book Grab, do everything.
Okay.
And yeah.
But you can never get in touch with anybody through social media for a month.
Yeah, I think I can live with that.
It's gonna be a struggle.
It's going to be a struggle, but I think actually it brings up one thing. Actually, I think this question actually brings up one very good point.
Okay.
If you're very happy with yourself, you don't need social media to make you happy.
Okay.
I think it's very important right now. I think a lot of people right now in the society right now, they need social media to make themselves happy. And I read this somewhere before, I don't know where. You need to be happy with yourself first, so that you can be in a relationship. Because once you be in a relationship, the person makes you happier. The person you're with is not supposed to make you happy, but to make you happier. And I realized that a lot of people who rely a lot on social media to be happy, they're not really happy themselves.
Makes sense.
So I would like to think so that I'm happy with myself right now, at this point of my life. At least I'm very happy with where I am, what I've achieved, how much value I've given to people around me, that I can forgo social media for a month, but I cannot forgo the convenience that technology has given me. So if you ask me, actually this brings up a very good point, that you need to be happy with yourself. So yeah.
Cool. Okay, parting shots.
Sure.
Imagine that if you are in your 50s today,
Okay.
and that today you have a 21-year-old son.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, comes up to you on a Sunday afternoon.
Wow.
Say, Dad,
Yeah.
I found a job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start next week.
Sure.
I'm gonna be a financial consultant.
Sure.
What would be that one advice you would give him?
I think the advice I'll give to my son is the same as what I have been telling my clients, is to always I'll put my client first, followed by the company I represent, then myself. To always put clients first before yourself, because ultimately it's the relationship that you build with them that matters the most, and that will bring you long term in the career. Yeah, so I will say the same thing to him, the same thing I tell my clients.
Cool. It's been an incredible episode, the very first episode of The Creative Heart. Thanks so much, bro, for
Yeah, no problem.
doing this first episode. Where can they find you? Where are you most active nowadays?
I hope no lah. I'm most active in now I'm trying to be more active on LinkedIn. It's
Anybody who want to like contact you, like to know more about experience.
Instagram. I
and
think
things like
Instagram will be better, so you see why I became fat. All the food posts is there. Yeah, it's very obvious why I fat.
Okay.
Because of the food. So you follow me on Instagram
Okay.
at leslie.co. That you will see
I will
me.
put all his links, like, don't worry.
Yeah, just follow me there. Cool.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it, and to be the first guest.
Yes.
Yeah, and glad. I hope I shared you knowing me, you know me better.
Yeah.
And insight of what I think also.
Cool, man. Thanks
a
so
lot.
much, bro.
No problem.
All right. See you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye.
This has been a very interesting episode, and I still don't know what I'm doing, but this is what the creative heart is all about, trying to figure your way out. So figure yourself out. So yeah, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, done.